Zinga. Zinga.
Zinga. Zinga.
Skittles, taste the rainbow.
Bye, Barbie.
Beautiful day, breakfast with Barbie cereal. Will her dream ever come true? Got milk.
It's time for Meg Reacts.
Hello, all you Slimesters, and welcome to this first episode for this season of Meg Reacts. Hello, lovely Megan.
Hello.
I had a lot of fun last season making these with you, and we recorded all of them, almost all of them, in one night last season. And this season, let me rephrase. Last season, I picked the topics and I picked the categories. No, correction. I picked the topics. I picked the commercials. This season, Brett picked the topics. I picked the commercials. So there's a pretty good mix of things here. I'm really excited, especially because this first episode, we get to talk more about something that we've not really had a chance to talk very much about, except for one episode that you were a part of. Is tonight we are going to be looking at TGIF commercials.
Ooh, okay.
Now,
Favorite night.
I do know that we addressed a little bit of it in our Boy Meets World episode, but as far as TGIF goes, what do you recall most about TGIF?
It was the Friday night hotspot of shows, like sitcom shows for kids, teenagers, that aired every Friday night. It was like, shows like Boy Meets World, Sabrina, The Teenage Witch, Family Matters, I believe, aired on TGI Friday. Full House, maybe later seasons of Full House. But I always remember Boy Meets World, but I forgot some of the others. It'll come back to me when I see the commercials, but it's been a long time. But that was like one of my favorite things to do, was to watch those at night on Fridays when I would still be at home before I was old enough to go out and hang out with friends.
Well, for this episode, we've got quite a few cut together because TGIF, one of the things that they did really, really well that most other networks outside of Nickelodeon would do, but even Nickelodeon didn't do this very well, because all the shows that were on TGIF, one show would advertise another show. Like you'd have the Winslow family from Family Matters as kind of MC for the night. But they would talk about the next show coming up and the next show coming up. And then the next week it would be the cast of Boy Meets World, and they would be MC for the night, and they would do the other interstitials in between, and then the next week it would be Step by Step, and the next week it'd be Full House. So because and they were very fast. So for that reason, some of our commercials tonight, we'll have some commercials that are just lineups. We'll have some that are a few interstitials cut together, just so that way we have 30 seconds to a minute of footage, because they usually went very fast. So, and I tried to get a collection of different lineups to cover as much TGIF as we can. Not every show that was on TGIF is in this episode, but again, I think we only have 4 or 5 different sections. So we'd have to do a whole lot more to cover TGIF in its entirety. But with that being said, let's get started.
Notice how the phone never rings during TGIF?
Well, that's because everybody's watching ABC.
Tonight, Boy Meets World goes where no TGIF show has gone before. Back to the 50s with Potsy and Mr. C.
Hey, kids!
Happy days are here again with an all-new Boy Meets World.
Great Caesar's ghost. I thought back in time.
Next on ABC.
I bet ABC's TGIF is a lot more fun than having a date.
You'd lose that bet.
I bet Cody and JT have fun when they start a business.
We're here to see you about a business loan. Do you have any collateral? Oh, no, sir. I eat a fat-free, high-fiber diet.
Tell me that's not as exciting as any girl you've dated.
Someday you'll understand.
Don't go away. We're
ready to hook you up with more laughs. Next on Step by Step, Dana studies Cody for her psychology class. I'm gonna say a word, and you tell me the first thing that pops into your head.
All right.
Mother.
High tension wires.
There's more TGIF coming right up on ABC.
I love Cody so much. He was my favorite character on the show. I love Step by Step. Actually revisited that show not that long ago and watched all the way through. So very underrated show.
Did you watch that one when it came on?
No. I think I had seen a few episodes of Step by Step because I remember loving the theme song. I know a couple of the characters guest starred on Boy Meets World, and I didn't get into it as much as I did like Boy Meets World or Family Matters and Full House. But I did get a chance to revisit it because I had seen some episodes of it. It's kind of like the same for like when I watched Buffy. I remember as a kid watching a few episodes of Buffy as I started to get older, but I didn't watch the entire series. And then a college professor reintroduced it to me when I was in college, and then I had to find it and watch it again. So I didn't get a chance to watch the whole series, but I do remember Cody a lot because he was the funny bit of the show. He was the dummy, I guess, of the show, but I used to think he was so cute. Because all the girls did. Him and JT.
So in this section, we saw Step by Step,
Mm-hmm.
Boy Meets World, Family Matters.
Mm-hmm.
It was very short, but
And
they were
the
there.
first show with Raven, I forgot the name of it.
I was just going to ask if you knew what that one
I
was.
couldn't remember because I knew she went on and did this show after she was done with Cosby Show, but I couldn't remember the name of it.
I believe that is Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yes, I think you're right.
I never watched Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
I didn't either.
I do remember the actor who was Mr. Cooper made a guest appearance on All That at one point, and I remember the audience going nuts.
Hey, what's up, people? How you guys doing?
It's my career.
All right.
I can't believe it. I just saw you hanging with Mr. Cooper last night.
But I never watched. I still haven't seen a single episode.
Definitely something I would like to check out, and see how good it is, or if it was as good as it. Obviously was very popular. Did it say it had over 100 episodes, right?
101. So yes,
Wow.
so yes, over 100
So
episodes.
I would say it was fairly popular. That's at least 3 or 4 seasons.
At least 3 or
so-
4 seasons.
So yeah, that's definitely something we'll have to look into and check it out.
That aside, we're gonna move on to the next section of TGIF stuff.
Hi, welcome to a new season. This is the beginning of a great new night of comedy, and coming up next is the premiere of my favorite show, Full House.
That's us.
Then we'll premiere a new show called Family Matters.
Right, then after that, it's the premiere of Perfect Strangers and a special sneak preview of Free Spirit.
Yeah, you see, it's about this really good-looking housekeeper. She's a witch, so she's got that going for her.
There we go.
We're back, and we want to remind you to stay tuned to TGIF.
That's right. Next is the premiere of a great new show, Family Matters.
No.
Yes, it stars the elevator operator from Perfect Strangers.
Wow.
Good thing I don't have a date.
All right, have your popcorn ready. Family Matters is coming up next, so don't move. Except, of course, to chew your popcorn.
Hi! Welcome to TGIF.
Neat movie screen. Did our mascot Mouse Friday bring it? Don't mention that mouse.
But I'll mention that next is our show, Full House, and then after that is the new show, Family Matters.
Yeah, and don't forget Perfect Strangers and just the 10 of us.
I love Friday.
Oh, so do we. Come on, America, hug your TV set.
Hi, people. It's TGIF.
Which means our show Full House is coming up next.
Everyone's going to Hollywood to watch me go on Star Search.
Wow. Do you become a star tomorrow?
Well, you'll find out tonight.
You will laugh.
So cute.
As a kid, which show did you like more, Full House or Boy Meets World?
as a kid,
Mhm.
I was a big Full House fan. I watched Full House nonstop. I got into Boy Meets World as I got older, though. I probably, like I said, I discovered it as they were well into their like 4th and 5th season. So, Full House, though, I don't obviously was the same age as Michelle when the show premiered because I'm the same age as they are. But again, that was another one I discovered. But then they were showing reruns of the show in on other networks, so I got to see the entirety of the show. But I just loved Full House. I loved the family aspect. I always wanted to be Mary-Kate and Ashley so bad. I was a big Mary-Kate and Ashley fan growing up. The only thing I was so mad about was that I didn't get to be in their fan club because my parents didn't want to pay for it. But I wanted to be in their fan club so bad so that I could get access to all of their videos and things like that. So and you can ask him. I have a lot of their movies on DVD and I still have them. So
Family Matters, because I think this was the premiere of TGIF, because they had premiere of Full House, premiere of Family Matters, and then there were two other shows. Perfect Strangers. Do you remember Perfect Strangers? I just remember it in name, and I remember Bronson Pinchot being one of the lead characters. Do you remember what the last show was that they were saying on the premiere?
No.
Free Spirit. And it was about a witch. So TGIF was really trying to get that witch aspect going from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But Free Spirit, I don't think lasted long. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until this batch of interstitials when I even first heard of it. So I'm kind of interested. I'd like to look into it a little more just to see what it was like, because I like looking into weird little niche things that of what people and networks had tried.
Yeah.
But I very much want to do a Full House episode, retrospective. Just that was my favorite show on ABC. I loved Full House as a kid. I still love Full House, and
even watched the spinoff Fuller House. As well.
Loved Fuller House too. It's cheesy cornball fluff, but sometimes you need that.
Well, to be honest, the cast was so close to each other that they are still close to this day and family, that it felt like they were a real family. They just the way the actors interact, especially the guys interacting with, Mary-Kate and Ashley as little she was. I mean, you'd think it'd be kind of random to hug and kiss on someone else's child that's not your own, but she felt like theirs. Like she felt like Danny's. And I know this past year was tough losing Bob. So that was their heart of the show. As raunchy as he was in his comedy, you would never have known that. That's how good he was. You would never have known that from him playing Danny on the show. And it just that was hard. And I know they're all still feeling the loss from that. So, and
in the early 90s, Candace Cameron, she was on Nickelodeon a lot. She was on 2 episodes of Double Dare. She was host for the Kids' Choice Awards at one point. She was in the no, it was aired, but it wasn't picked up, the pilot for Real Mature. And now she and both Jodie Sweetin have been on Dancing with the Stars. Jodie Sweetin and Andrea Barber. The two of them have a podcast that they've started on now, talking about their all kinds of different things. And David Coulier, also from Out of Control on Nickelodeon, he has got his own podcast as well. So everyone's doing podcasts, stealing our thunder. How dare they?
Well, COVID hit, and that's what we had to communicate with each other. So we had to do what we can.
Next one.
Well, our ABC Halloween Bash is in full swing, and my show, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, is up next. And I'm a little embarrassed about what happens.
See, it involves streaking, you know, running around with empty clothes.
You mind keeping an eye on my hog? The valet's full and we don't want to miss the naked witch.
See more of me. I mean, my show. Sabrina, up next.
ABC Next. It's a monster night of TGIF. It's like a totally freaky Clueless.
That's a slamming costume. I thought you was Big Bird.
Clueless, ABC Next.
Why do they call this a hog? Now that's a hog. More TGIF. Next. I'm so excited about this Halloween bash. My magic's a little off tonight. Hey, there's Sheriff Clueless. I think I'll surprise her with a makeover. She looked great in pink.
That was way supportive.
Sorry, I was wrong. Pink's not your color. Clueless is next.
Yes, Clueless. That was another one. I knew I would see a clip and I'd remember it. Clueless. Yes, the TV show, because the movie was huge and popular and I love the movie. And I actually did watch a little bit of the show. The only thing is I still preferred Alicia Silverstone as Cher than the other actors, but she still did good for what, was given. But some of the actors from the movie also came back to reprise their characters. So that was a fun show. Of course, I love the movie, so I still watch it to this day. But yes, love Sabrina.
I didn't realize the Clueless TV show ran for 3 seasons.
I knew it did a couple. I didn't think it was as long as some of the others, but I knew it did at least 2 or 3. So, but yeah, Sabrina.
Naked Sabrina.
Oh yeah, no.
The only thing I really recall for Sabrina was we did an episode over on Patreon of James Bond references in the 90s, because there is a lot, and it's a very fun episode. I don't say that because I'm a huge James Bond fan. It is a lot of fun. Even Brett, who's not a big Bond fan, was like, this was really fun going through all these different shows. There is a pretty fun James Bond reference in Sabrina the Teenage Witch where there was a cat show competition. They would bring their cats and groom them and all those different things, and one of the owners of the other cat was a Blofeld look-alike who was the main villain. He had the bald head, the white cat, and he was it was ridiculous, but I thought that was such a fun idea to have Blofeld entering a cat competition.
They did some great stuff on that show. That's what I said. I really want to go back and watch the series as a whole again, because I only remember watching a few episodes, but I want to go back again. That's why I said I want to revisit shows from when we were kids and watch them as adults now, and just
I remember Sabrina being pretty big. I remember it was a big deal, not just that Sabrina was being made, but Melissa Joan Hart had another big show that was mainstream, because I was excited for her because I loved her on Clarissa and I wanted to watch Sabrina. I just never did. But there was even a Clarissa spinoff that they were trying to do over on ABC right before Sabrina. It was called Clarissa Now, which we'll talk about that at some point in the show, I'm sure. But obviously that didn't get picked up and then went to Sabrina. And I think that was the right call. It has served her well. And even Melissa Joan Hart has said in several interviews, that she was so young when she made Clarissa that a lot of what happened then all bleeds together, and it's hard for her to have a lot of memories and isolate certain things about it because it's been so long. But Sabrina, she was obviously considerably older and can remember a lot more about making that show. So it's just interesting observation.
That was why I thought it was really cool when she came back later on in the 2010s, and her and Joseph Lawrence made Melissa and Joey. 2 big 90s stars came together to make a show, and I want to check out their show as well. It was on when we could have watched it, but we
had so many other shows we
were watching, so that's on my list as well. So I heard it was really funny.
All right, we got 2 more.
Okay.
Ashley's found true love. There's just one problem.
You marry Kate?
Let me think.
2 of a kind. Then will Topanga ever get the words out?
I
do Find out on Boy Meets World, and it's the most embarrassing thing that could happen in a crowded room.
Oh, the humanity.
What did Sabrina do?
Cheese?
Ooh. And it has people screaming for more. Brothers Keeper, TGIF Friday.
That's another one I found out.
So, what do you think, Goose? That Miss Piggy is one hot piece of bacon, huh?
Oh, what I wouldn't give for a bacon cheeseburger.
You know, the glue is looking kind of tasty.
Nobody touches the glues.
Prepare to observe Aliens in the Family, a study of marriages between humans and aliens.
I wonder what they eat for dinner.
Yeah, like glazed ham or cooked glue.
Aliens in the Family, next on ABC.
I require more comedy, therefore TGIF must continue now.
It's interesting to see how humans and aliens live in harmony on Earth.
The Triad would never let us have any peace.
Uh-oh. A battle has just broken out in an isolated area called Port Washington, Wisconsin.
All right, some action. Now, is it two starships battling for control of the Earth?
No, it's a brother and a sister, JT and Dana, battling for control over the TV.
Well, that means it's time for Step by Step, next on ABC.
I completely forgot about that show and did not remember anything about that show. Two of a Kind, I do remember because, again, big Mary-Kate and Ashley fan, I do remember that show. And I was like over here going, I forgot about that one. Because that was right after Full House had ended and they were around 12 and 13, getting around that age, I think. This might have been late 90s. Had to have been late 90s. And yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Two of a Kind. I remember that show.
And Brothers Keeper?
No, I don't remember that one either.
You don't remember Aliens in the Family?
No. How long did it last?
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
8 episodes.
Oh, cancel.
But leave it to me because I remembered that one.
Really?
That was
Of course.
Full House. I tuned in for Full House, and I also tuned in for other things. But I tuned in for every episode of Aliens in the Family. I remembered that. I wanted to see that because it was so different and weird. And I've always loved puppetry and things like that in TV. Did you remember what they said at the beginning of that, where the guy was saying that he wanted bacon?
Yeah, you want a burger or something.
He said, man, that Miss Piggy is a real something or other, because Muppets Tonight was on TGIF.
Oh, okay.
And it was actually watching Muppets Tonight when I learned about Aliens in the Family.
Oh.
And then I started tuning in. That was the most that I had continuously tuned in to TGIF, because Friday nights I didn't really tune into TGIF. For me, I would go to the movie store and I would rent a movie for Friday nights after school. So I didn't really tune in because I was watching movies that I had rented, but I did constantly watch Aliens in the Family. Didn't watch Brothers Keeper, didn't watch Sabrina. Two of a Kind you really enjoyed. The interstitials for that one, when they were all in those space outfits, that was another show called Hypernauts. I don't think that was ABC specifically, but one of those actresses, if you, I'm sure you 90s Nick fans have recognized, is Heidi Lucas, who played Dina from Salute Your Shorts. Now, she hasn't done a whole lot, and Hypernauts was only 13 episodes, so and that was it. So that was our very, very niche portion of this TGIF block. But we're going to go to our last one for the night.
Earl and Baby Sinclair on Maternal Love.
Not the mama, 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 not the mama.
You do that one more time.
Not the mama.
Dinosaurs, the next big thing, premieres next.
Can you guess what's the next big thing on TGIF? Is it A, a new pantyhose called Legolosaurus? B, Julia Childstone's recipe for a dinosaur on the half shell? Or C, a giant new comedy about a family of dinosaurs?
Whoa, I'm naked.
The answer's dinosaurs. Next.
Dinosaurs. Yeah, I guess I completely forgot that aired on TGIF.
Mm-hmm. I did too.
I completely forgot about that.
I love dinosaurs.
It's a great show.
Did you ever? I don't think you've really watched it.
I haven't watched all of it, but I've watched some episodes. I remember the not the mama, not the mama. I do remember that.
Everyone remembers
I
that.
remember not the mama, not the mama.
I was always very interested to want to watch dinosaurs, but I never got to see it as a kid because ABC kept moving its time block and kind of doomed it to fail.
Is it
But
on Disney Plus?
it is on Disney Plus now, and
Okay.
I have seasons 1 and 2 on DVD.
Okay.
I need to get the other two, even though I can. I like physical merchandise. I don't like doing stream. I love it. I love it physical. But I do remember that show, and I remember it existing, and I wanted to watch it, and it was on DVD. I bought it. I watched it. I loved it. And there is a lot of times when it can be stupid, but there's a lot of times it can be very smart and great satire. There was one episode, I don't know if I had told you this, but the entire show that is called The Baby, and they had to take him to the Great Elder because the Elder would name all the dinosaurs. So they got him up there, and I forgot how exactly it started, but there was a scribe next to the Elder, and he would go, "From this day forth, your name is Rex." And the scribe would write down Rex and give certificate, and now it's Rex. Then they came up to brought the baby up there. "From henceforth, your name shall be Ugh, I'm dying." And they gave it to the baby. So the entire episode, they tried to call the baby Ugh, I'm dying. And it went to a commercial break. And when it came back, they were playing the name game with Rex, Bobex, Banana Fat. And then it was the baby, my turn. So they're going, Ugh, I'm dying, Ugh, I'm dying, banana. But okay, this isn't working.
Oh my god.
I love it so much. It's a great episode. The show's fun. We'll have to watch it sometime. I mean, they even did some digs about their own show because they were one of them was watching a TV show and it was puppets, but they were like 2 sock puppets. And then they were going, "Why are you watching this dumb show about puppets?" And like, it can be really clever. I was like, but no one's watching this. Yeah, no, that's the problem. I was like,
Oh, and the animatronics for that are so good.
Yes, they're fantastic.
So good.
And
I mean, you just don't. They don't make stuff like that anymore.
No, they don't. That and Jim
practical effects like that.
Jim Henson's creature feature. They were amazing.
He's a genius.
But that is going to be it for our opening Meg Reacts for the season. It was a bit lengthier. Next Meg Reacts is going to be even longer because we are going to be doing a Halloween episode coming up. And then after that, we'll go back to a pretty standard 4 commercials per episode cut. I wanted to get as much as I could in this episode within a decent time frame because there's so much to TGIF.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Of course, we're going to hit the ones that we know. We've hardly even touched on Family Matters, which is a great series in and of itself. But
another one I want to go back and watch.
But there's just so much. It's not as dense as Nickelodeon, and I don't mean that as a negative. I just mean you're looking at one time block that was on ABC, whereas Nickelodeon, we're talking about all of Nickelodeon on the podcast. So I really want to dive into more TGIF stuff at some point in the podcast, and I really want to look at Full House sometime very soon. When we have the chance, I don't know, but we will, because
as long as I get to guest star on that.
Oh, it would be criminal. You'd have to lock me up for crimes in the marriage for not having you in the episode for Full House, because I know that's your big one too.
Yes. Yep, that's my big one.
So what is your favorite shows that were on TGIF? Please comment in the comment section, because
That was part of it.
Because YouTube loves the use of their algorithms. Send us an email over at splatattack2021@gmail.com. As always, please hit the like button, share this with your friends, especially those who love TGIF, and continue to support and spread the word like herpes. I say that every time I say spread it. Spread them!
Pretty much like an OBGYN.
An OBGYN Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, Slimesters.
Pour clear water from the teapot and...
Looks like pink tea.
Sorry, Dad. Yikes can't work miracles.
They write like other pencils, but they make you go, yikes!
We're opera singers! Wendy's kids' meals are...
Just for kids!
Have your credit card handy to save COD charges.
Tomorrow, you'll say TGIF when Full House has their season premiere, Lost in Paradise.
The plane!
Then the comedy's family-sized.
I told your mama she can move in with us.
The premiere of Family Matters. Make way for the hottest guys on wheels, the season premiere of Perfect Strangers. Fall under the spell of the cutest witch on television. A sneak preview of Free Spirit. The new season begins for Full House, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, and Free Spirit tomorrow.